So I did a survey from my homeroom of what some things they wanted to cover again today before we moved on to tests tomorrow. So we're going to cover a couple different things. And I'm just, because these were like repeated over and over again, we're just going to cover them with y'all as well. So the first one, the first two we're going to look at, we're going to review fractions to decimals and decimals to fractions again. So we'll start with how to turn a fraction to a decimal. Okay, so I have 1/2. That's a fraction, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so if my problem was adding or subtracting fractions and decimals together, and my answer choices were either in decimal form or it was a griddable question, I would need to turn my answer to a decimal, right? You can't grid a fraction. So, how would I turn this fraction to a decimal, Jordan? Yes. This line literally says divide. This says 1 divided by 2. I'm going to go off to the side and do 1 divided by 2. Can 2 go into 1?
No. Add the decimal behind it.
I can add a decimal point and a 0 behind that. That goes back to last unit, knowing how to divide decimals. Can 2 now go into 10?
Yes.
How many times?
5.
Will I put my 5 above my 1 or my 0?
0.
Yes. 5 times 2 is 10. Subtract. Now I'm going to do what with my decimal point?
Bring it out.
Bring it straight up.
Up.
So 1/2 is equal to 0.5. 5/10. That is a really good fraction to know what the decimal value is equal to, because that's one that will pop up a lot. Okay, let's look at a mixed number to a decimal. Okay, so I have 2 and 2/5. And same thing. I'm adding or subtracting decimals and fractions. My answer choices are in decimal form, or it's a griddable question. You can't grid a fraction, so you'd have to make your answer decimal form. So I need to turn my fraction to a decimal. So the first thing that I'm going to do, if it's a mixed number, I'm going to turn it to an improper fraction. To do that, I'm doing denominator times my whole number. So 5 times 2 is
10.
plus my numerator, plus 2 would be
12.
10 plus 2 is 12. My denominator is 5. To turn that to a decimal, it's the same as the last one. I'm dividing. This literally says 12 divided by 5. So I'm going to go off to the side and do 12 divided by 5. Can 5 go into 12?
Yes.
Yes. How many times? 2. 2 times 5 is 10. Subtract, I get 2. I don't want to make a fraction, so what am I going to add so I can keep dividing? Decimal 0. Can you add just a 0 without the decimal?
No.
Why not?
Because I don't make it way bigger.
It changes the value of that number. We go from 12 to 120. Can 5 go into 20? How many times? 10. It can go in 4 times. 4 times 5 is 20. I don't have a remainder and I have nothing else to bring down. So I'm bringing my decimal up. Straight up.
2/4.
No.
2.1.
2 and 4 tenths. So this is 2 and 4 tenths.
that we would divide them by 2.
Any questions over fractions to decimal?
No.
Please
Okay.
put your mouse on. Yes.
Could we put the two like our whole number and then just do the fraction?
Like just divide your fraction part. Okay, let's look at decimal fractions now. I will say, a lot of times when you go decimals to fractions, you're going to have to simplify in the end. Just be careful. Be mindful of that. So let's do.
Oh, should we just simplify like the fraction that we get from the decimal?
Hold on, just 1 second. You may have to, after you do like your common denominator and add your fractions together, you'll probably have to simplify, yes. And it's always best, I think, to simplify whenever you can, just
Just make sure.
because the numbers you're working with are smaller when you
That'll
simplify it.
be 3 and 8.
Okay, so when you're going from decimals to fractions, your whole number stays your
Denominator.
stays your whole number.
Stays your whole number. It'll be 8 tenths.
The number after the decimal is your
Numerator.
yes.
What it's in
What-
is your denominator.
What place value is this number in?
Tenths.
The tenth. 8 tenths can be simplified.
22
right?
So start with your multiplication chart, the very top row.
But why on the first one we
Is
did?
there an 8? 10 underneath it.
No.
8.
Yes.
10 underneath it.
No.
8.
No.
8.
Yes.
10 underneath it.
Yes.
So it is.
Yes.
So this is
4/50
equal to 3 and 4/5.
Why didn't we have to do that on the first one though, like the 1/2?
Because anytime you have, that's a great question. Hold on. Anytime you have a 1 as a numerator, that is the simplest form. That is a unit fraction. If you look at the board over there, it doesn't make sense.
No, I said it does.
If you look at the board over there, when I did the example yesterday, where it says fraction of decimal, I did 5/10 to a decimal over there, right? And my decimal was this, which is the same exact thing as this, right?
Yes.
If I simplified 5/10,
You get 1/2.
I would get 1/2, because 5 is half of 10.
My mom showed me like 50 over 60. You just take off the
Take
zeros
off the zeros off
and
of
then
Okay, I want to show y'all some of these. Nope, not doing Chicken Wing songs, not doing it. Decimal to fraction. My whole number
stays the same.
stays the same.
The 25 is on your top. 11.20.
The number after the decimal is your numerator. What place value is a 5 in?
Hundredths.
100. It's very possible. Hold on. Let's do 2 more examples before I talk about this.
I already know what that is equal to.
Hold on.
11.25.
Okay, let's do these 2 before we talk about what they can simplify down to. Once again, my whole number stays my whole number. My decimal, or my number after the decimal is my numerator. Place value, the last digit is in the hundredths place, so that's my denominator. Whole number stays my whole number. The number after the decimal point is my numerator. What place value is the 5 in? Hundredths. Okay, these I believe are very important to know what they simplify down to.
I already know what that is.
When you have a denominator of 100 and you see 25, 50, and 75 over 100, you need to think money.
4. Yes.
How many
Quarters.
how many cents are in the whole dollar?
4.
How
100.
much cents? 100.
Oh yeah.
How much is a quarter worth?
25.
So 1 quarter, how many quarters equal a whole?
4.
How many quarters equal a whole dollar?
4.
4.
So 1 quarter is a fourth of a dollar.
Yeah, that's what I got.
Okay?
2. And then 2 quarters is
How
worth
many
half a
quarters is
dollar.
worth 50 cents?
2.
2.
2 quarters.
How many quarters are in a whole?
4.
Can this be simplified farther?
Yes, it can be 1
Yes,
half.
it can.
2 is half of a 4, right? So
Uh-huh.
this
It
is
can be 1 half.
11 and a half.
Whoa.
Man, mind blowing.
Man, that
Mine's
is
this
my
morning. Boom. All right, next one. We're still thinking I have 75 and a dollar or 100. I'm thinking money, quarters. How many quarters is worth 75 cents?
4.
3. How many are worth a whole or in a whole?
4.
These are, I really believe that these are super important to remember. Same thing with the half is equal to 5/10. Any questions on those? Decimals to fractions or fractions to decimals? Please put your chair down and follow along. Put your scissors up. So I had a question on when to know when to turn an improper fraction
Into a mix number?
into a mixed number. So, when you see an improper fraction, turn it to a mixed number. Like, don't second guess yourself, just do it when you see it. Like that one question on your test, it was like 6/3. You needed to turn that to a mixed number, or that would have been a whole number. But when you see them, just go ahead and change them to a mixed number or a whole number if it works out that way.
Okay.
If you were doing a problem like this, you need to first turn your mixed numbers into an improper fraction. Anytime. Questions on that?
No, well. Even if you're subtracting?
Definitely if you're subtracting. Because if you don't, like borrowing whole numbers, making it to a fraction is really messy. I tried, this is why, this is my very first year teaching fractions, I did not teach changing it to an improper fraction first. And so if, obviously when you subtract, order matters, right? So if your bigger fraction, like your bigger whole number's on top, sometimes it had a smaller fraction. So if you had a bigger fraction with common denominator on the bottom, so like an example like this. So let's say 3 and 2/4 minus 1
8.
and 3/4. Could I do this problem right here?
Yeah.
I could because I have common denominators, but can I do 2 minus 3?
No.
So then I have to borrow from this, making it a 2. But then you'd have to know that 4/4 is equal to 1 whole.
Yeah. I told
2/4 plus 4/4 is 6/4. It just gets messier.
I did that once and she was like, that's not how you're supposed to do it. It's not how she taught you.
This just gets messy. Like, I don't want y'all, when you get older, that's fine. And you understand this concept a lot more, that's fine. But we're not at this level. There's a lot more to that. So anytime you're adding or subtracting fractions and you have mixed numbers, make them improper fractions first.
Okay, that makes sense.
Cool.
One
Anything else that y'all want me to cover?
Nope. I mean, I guess. I don't know.
I cannot hear you. Okay. Yes, Brock.
Nothing.
Okay. So we're good on all the things you're going to see tomorrow.
Yes.
Estimating fractions. Yes.
Wait, so are we doing the same
With
thing?
fractions or just in general? Let's do one order of operations real fast.
What if
Do
you
not moan and groan.
What if you already made a pretty good grade on your
Everyone's retaking it.
But wouldn't you still get the better grade you made?
Yes.
Right, on the
I'm
math
making
grade?
seed in my pants. But
Yes.
What if you made 100?
Then you take that grade if you get a lower one.
if you made 100, you keep that grade.
And we don't have to retest?
Yes.
How many questions?
I don't know.
I hope it's not like 30.
I would never give you a 30 question unit test.
What about 20? 3. I don't want that. What? It's about to come. I don't remember set nothing. It's about to come 23.
Yeah, Gabby.
That was number 9. Then we met
Close to
14.
pause.
Ah, there we go.
Braccos?
Write that down.
I love macros.
Yeah. You already taught the whole entire question.
Two plus one half.
With the whole question?
Okay. So, I have ordered operations. What am I writing down first? Yes. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. So, on P, that's parentheses and brackets. If I have both parentheses and brackets, what am I looking at first? I'm looking at brackets first. Gavin, put your mask on. Inside my brackets, do I have more than one operation?
Yes.
If I have more than one operation inside my brackets, what am I using?
Your steps.
No, I'm using my steps. Do I have parentheses?
Yes.
Do I have more than one parentheses?
Yes.
So I'm doing that step, the parentheses step, left to right. So I'm solving this one first. Do I have more than one please stop talking over me. Do I have more than one operation inside here?
No.
So I'm just going to solve it and write it down underneath. 11 plus 3 is
13.
14. Bring down the rest of your problem. I'm still inside my brackets. I solved one set of parentheses, so I'm starting back over. Do I have any parentheses inside my brackets? Okay. 2 plus 1 and 1/2.
3 and 1/2.
Yes. Hold on. Since this does not have a fraction attached to it, I'm going to write my problem just like this. Fractions are lined up, whole numbers are lined up. Nothing plus 1/2 is 1/2. 2 plus 1 is 3. So 3 and 1/2. Bring down the rest of my problem. Do I still have work inside? What? Do I still have work inside my parentheses? So I have, not parentheses, brackets, sorry. I solved another thing of parentheses, so I'm starting back over. Do I have any more parentheses in here?
No.
Exponents,
No.
multiplication, division,
No.
adding or subtracting.
Yes.
All right. Same thing as the last one.
Yummy. It'd be 14 and it'd be 17 and 1/2.
And then -2 equals 15 and 1/2.
All right. I solved brackets. Starting back over. Do I have any more parentheses?
No.
Exponents.
No.
Multiplication, division.
No.
Adding or subtracting.
Yes.
Subtraction. Subtract.
So let me show you this, please. When you have a mixed number minus just a whole number, please be careful. I'm going to show you an instance where this would not be open. This would not work like this. This one it will. It's 15 and a half.
Yep.
You don't want to stack them. If my problem was 2
17 and 1/2.
minus 1 and 1/2, would this work in this problem?
No, because you're.
No, this is 0 minus 1/2, right? So this is technically 0 halves here. Can I do 0 minus 1?
No.
No. So I'd have to borrow, making this a 1 and making this 2 halves. 2 halves minus 1/2.
1/2.
So that's why-
1/2.
You gotta be careful there.
So it would be 1 and 1/2.
Oh, you'd be
It
1/2.
would just be 1/2.
Oh yeah.
So just be careful when you're subtracting.
Whole numbers.
Yeah.
Araceli?
Okay, any other questions on order of operations?
Nope. The only other thing I can even think of is estimation.
What was your question, Ethan? I'm sorry.
Nothing. I was just saying the only thing I could think of is estimation.
Okay, you have a question? Huh? Sure.
Like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe.